Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Uh, if you're in class, if you can see me and hear my voice, I like to just type one in the comment section. Just type one in the comment section. If you can see me, all right. If you can see me, you can hear my voice. Just type one for me in the comment section. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Who else is in the class? Just type one in the comment section. Just type one. You can hear me. Just type one in the comment section. And how many of you have been following the class from the beginning? Been following the class from the beginning. Um, you know, uh, many of you have not been following. No problem. You know, I understand. I understand why. I understand why. You know, many times when you give something else for free, people will not appreciate it. If you come to my office to learn what I'm telling you now, and it is not in the time we are organizing free training, I guarantee you, if you don't make full payment, you're not going to learn anything. So what I'm teaching you is, even though we are giving it for free, it's not cheap. Um, I'm contributing to your life. I'm contributing to your family. I'm contributing to your finances and your financial freedom. Okay, people who wish to know what I'm sharing with you. If they know what I'm sharing with you, they will run fast with it. Okay. If I know this thing earlier in my life, I'll be very grateful. And the first time I paid somebody to teach me forex was in 2007. 2007. I paid one particular man. He used to be an executive in a camp in a fellowship, and I was in a fellowship, and so yeah, I paid him, and then he just gave me some photocopy of like 7 pages. I didn't learn a jack. Okay, but now years have passed, and then I become traders and profitable trader, and then we're giving out what we know out for free, and yet you're not paying attention, and you're not doing yourself good, because you see, you may have to pay to learn these things later. Okay, and sometimes when something is cheap, people don't value it. People don't value it, but no problem. We we move. But I also realized that because I've done a lot of training before, and I've seen that, look, after a period of time, the retention drops with time. I've done a lot of physical trainings. I've done a lot of physical trainings. But I don't really blame people if they are not paying attention, as long as you are putting the time and energy in something else that is profitable to your life. But we are not doing something else that is more important, and you're still not paying attention, you are doing yourself harm. You're doing yourself a lot of harm. Right. So let me continue from here. So today is 15th of November. The class supposed to end today because the intention was to run this class for 15 days. The intention was to run the class for 15 days. That was the plan. And but two things came up along the line. First, we started having physical classes, and so it's a little bit altered the pace will have moved if the physical class was not, didn't come along the way. Secondly, is that I lost a slide. So I had to prepare the slide all over again, and then we could not move at the pace. So I may have to extend this 15. There was the class supposed to end today. Maybe extend it maybe like till 20th, hopefully till 20th. So wherever we get to, okay, maybe we'll continue. I'll start producing other videos. Wherever we get to, we start seeing how we can like make sure we move further, far ahead, far forward, okay, before we stop the class. But the intention was to run the class for 15 days and then um, um, and um, and wherever we get to, I thought we are going to go further than this, but then we have actually gone far too. We have gone very far too, so much so that if all that we have taught is all that you have learned, you are still going to be very profitable. You're still going to be very profitable. Okay, but I have intention of dotting the I's and crossing the T's before we uh, put the training to an end. Okay, so let's see what we can achieve by 28th of the month. Because from that 20th of the month, I'm going to be a little bit busy with some other schedule. Okay, okay. So if you want us to stop today, type 2 in the comment section. If you want us to continue till 28th, type 3 in the comment section. If you want us to stop today, type 2 in the comment section. If you want us to continue till 28th of this month, type 3 in the comment section. Let me see. Want us to stop today, type 2 in the comment section. If you want us to continue till 28th of this month, type 3 in the comment section. All right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Now, let me quickly share my slide. Let's move forward. Okay, let's continue on tonight's topic. All right. I believe you can see my screen now. All right. So I've shared with you trend lines. And trend line is not what you joke with. Trend line is not what you joke with. Please study, or I've given you like 3 classes now on trend line. 1, I dropped the video. 2, I produced 2 videos on trend line. For this your group. Trend line is not what to joke with. It is a very simple tool, but very effective. Very simple tool, but very effective. Very simple, but very effective. Give you high probability and high accuracy setup. You don't need any special indicator alongside trend line. Trend line works like magic. It works on all time frame. It works on all time frame. It works for all instruments. All instruments. Very important. So please don't joke. We study it. Study it. Today I'm going to be giving you an assignment. Assignment. Okay. So, but then we have when the price obeys trend lines. For example, if you have an upward trend lines, you have an upward trend line, and price move up the first time, touch it, and second time, and then you draw your trend line because of that movement, because of the movement, you draw your trend line. It is called trend line bounce. It's called trend line bounce. When you have something like this, it's called trend line bounce. Okay, trend line bounce. That means the price bounce back. At this third touch now, you're looking at price bouncing back, price bouncing, price bouncing. This is called trend line bounce. When the price obeys the trend line, after you have drawn your, whether upward is an upward trend line or you draw the downward trend lines, when the price obeys it at the third touch or the fourth touch or the fifth touch, at the touch of the trend line, when the price obeys it, it's called trend line bounce. And it's very powerful. Very powerful. But equally powerful is the trend line breakout. The trend line breakout is as powerful as the trend line bounce. So we have trend line in two formats now. We have it as bounce and we have it as breakout. Trend line bounce and trend line breakout. Please don't miss what I'm sharing with you tonight. It's very important. This will make the difference between the profitable trader and the unprofitable trader. A trader that are just donating to the market. A trend line breakout. My goodness. My goodness. Now, imagine the combination of the two of them. The combination of trend line bounce and trend line breakout. I was telling them in the last online class, if it does not bounce, it will break out. If it does not break out, it will bounce. One of them must happen. That means even if you lose money at the bounce, if it doesn't bounce, when it's breaking out, you will make the money back. My goodness. So important. So why trend line breakout is a potential signal for trend, a reversal of trend reversal. Is a potential signal. That means when trend line breaks, it's an indication that trend is about to change. It's a signal that the trend is about to reverse. And it's also a signal. It signals the start of a new massive price movement. It signals the start of a new price movement when trend line breaks. Many times when trend line breaks, I remember something happened on this Friday, yesterday, a trend line broke on gold. I'm telling you. And the thing went down sharply, crazily sharply. I understand that the news was impacting it, but see, I wish I can quickly share my screen, but then I don't want to, I don't like going, if I'm online, I don't like going from window to window. Okay? So it signaled the start of a new and massive price movement. So therefore, trend line breakout strategy worth giving attention to. It's worth your attention. It's what you study. Okay? I started learning this thing years ago and it has completely transformed my trading. So it gives a potential signal that the reversal is about to happen to the trend. That means if the trend is upward before, trend line breakout may signal the downward trend. If the price is trending downward, trend line breakout may signal the upward movement, the bullish movement. Okay, so therefore, please pay attention to the study of trend line breakout. So the combination of both of them, look at it now. The trend line trading strategy and the trend line breakout strategy both have tendencies of giving you early entries and plenty pips in your favor. When you combine both of them, trend line strategies and a trend line breakout strategy together, they will work like magic. Both of them give you complete setup, complete strategy. So much so that if that's all you know, that's more than enough. If that's all you know, if that's all your strategy is sufficient for you to be profitable in trading financial markets. One of the things that prompted me in training this class is since September, I started training people again, especially online. Usually, most of my classes are offline, come to our office, or you do personal trainings, and then but I find out lately the many of the students I've trained years past. After training them, they start searching on YouTube, and they get clouded with different kind of strategies here and there. And at the end of the day, they could not focus on a single strategy. They are confused. They are distracted. Because you see, as they come on YouTube today, somebody is talking about a strategy, and then they come tomorrow, somebody is talking about another strategy, and they use the strategy. The day they lose, the day they drop that strategy, as if there's a 100% strategy anywhere in the world. There is nothing like 100% perfect strategy. There is no strategy that give 100% setup or 100% profit all the time. So when you combine trend line strategy and trend line breakout strategy, they will work like magic. Both of them combined are complete strategy, complete setup. Okay? So they are complementary to each other. Trend line strategy is a trading system based on the obedience of trend line, while the opposite is the trend line breakout. When the price breaks through the trend line, and therefore, considering trend line strategy, we have 4 things that you should look for, 4 variations, 4 setup to look for in trend line trading strategy. There are 4 formations of trend line breakouts, that you should look, that is tradable, quite interesting, tradable. You look for them. When they happen, you know that history is about to repeat itself. Okay? And now we have 2 for the buy, we have 2 for the sell. And this is how they look like. This is how they look like. This is how they look like. And so we have the immediate breakout, sell setup. When you draw from the 2 troughs, you draw an upward trend line. And now you're expecting the price to bounce up here. You're expecting the price to bounce up. All of a sudden, you are seeing a breakout. It broke that trend line. Now listen, how will you know it's breakout if you don't learn how to draw appropriate trend line? So you have to go back to the old video. If you have not watched the old video on how to draw trend line. Number 1, I said it must not have obstruction, especially point 1 and point 2 must not have an obstruction. It must not pass through the body of the candle. It must touch the wick. It must touch the wick. Then it must be pinpoint touch. It must touch both either the peaks or the troughs. It must be pinpoint touch or the peak or the trough. So we have to the sell side now. We have the immediate breakouts of sell setup. Then we have the breakout, sell, and retest. The price broke the trend line here, and then after moving few pips or few candles, to the sell side, price reverses and comes to test the trend line. It's called trend line breakout and retest. Breakout and retest. Then we have to the upside too, immediate breakout to the upside. Then we have immediate breakout to the side, breakout and retest to the upside. Very important. Very, very important. This thing I'm sharing with you today has made me a lot of money today. I'm trading step index. I traded step index today. I traded Let me quickly check. I traded fortunately I had 100% profit. 100%. I've not lost a single trade. A step index, velocity 51s, volatility 10, and crash 500. And I also had crash 25. Crash 25 is the one that did not make me so much money. I came out at break even, break even, break even. But other ones gave me, all of them were in profit. So step index, then volatility 51 else, volatility 10, crash 500, volatility 25. 100% profit. No, 100% winning. Not a single loss. And part of this, part of the you know, part of the analysis is the use of trend line, whether bounce or breakout, and there's some other thing I'll be teaching you in the future. And so we have it like this. So when you draw your trend line, you'll be watching, is it immediate breakout? How do you know it's immediate breakout? We'll talk about that in the future. And how do you know that this is the breakout and the test? What do you see that say you, oh, this guy is about to, to pull back, you know, pullback. It's called pullback or retracement. Or how do you know, oh, it's breaking down? And how do you even enter trade on setups, on trend line breakout setups to avoid false breakouts? All of that I'll be sharing with you in the future. So let's look at an example. Example like this. This is a trend line breakout. In fact, this one is the trend line breakout and the test. It is the example, the third example here. This is number 3. This is the first one. This is the second one. The third one. The fourth one. The third one. Sorry, sorry. Is this one? The fourth one. Breakout and the test. Look at it. You draw your trend line from the obvious peaks. Obvious peak. This is obvious. This is obvious. Then you draw it, and all of a sudden, price broke this trend line to the upside, and then it came to this side. It came up to as far as it, and came back to retest the same trend line. Came back to retest the trend line, and then continue in upward direction. This one is trend line breakout and retest to the buy side. The buy side. To the buy side. Then we have to the sell side. This one is trend line breakout. This one is immediate breakout. Sometimes too, this is another variation of trend line breakout. It's not part of those 4 options. It's not part of those of them. But how did you come about this? There is the resistance here. So the price come to retest that. I remember when I used to trade this strategy. Oh my goodness. When I used to trade this strategy, the price pulled back to the previous support that became resistance. Price, see, this is not the training for this night class. I'll be sharing this with you later in the future. But I'm just telling you that there was a pullback. Price broke. This one is, we categorize this one as immediate breakout. It broke out and the price continued downside. Though of course there was a pullback to the previous support that became resistant, and then price went down again. Very powerful. Very powerful. This other one I'm sharing here is not necessarily tonight's training. It's not for this night class. Okay, and so you have that on that trend line by joining two obvious supports, obvious trough, and then you watch in the future. For example, if this is going to break out, if it's going to be it's going to bounce. This candle will not form like this. This candle will not form like this. This candle will not form like. Don't worry. After this class, now we're talking about 20 reversal candles that you must pay attention to. So there are certain candles that must form here to indicate that price is about to bounce. But when those candles are not formed, for example, there is no reversal candle formed here now. It's telling you, oh, this thing is breaking. This thing is breaking. And then how do you enter when it breaks? I will explain that in the future. All that we're looking at today is to see examples of, trend line breakouts, strategy. When price breaks the trend line, that what we are looking at this night. So you see that the price broke this trend line and then moves in a downward direction. And you see how fast the price was moving. Immediately it broke out. Okay, so I have another example here. I have this this touch. Price is touching here, price is touching here. Just maintain the price was not passing that trend line. Then immediately at certain point, price broke this trend line to the upside. And then it came back to retest. This which example is this one now? The buy side put on is this one. I think it is one too. Is that one. Price broke it, came back to retest it, and then moved to the upside. As this one is breakout and retest to the upside. Breakout and retest to the upside. And this is massive. See, you need to see when price breaks trend line, it's in sometimes, and that's what we're trying to explain here. Price move away very fast from it. That was the first point we're trying to consider. Okay. When we're talking about it signals the start of a new massive price movement. It signals the start of a new massive price movement. That's what we're trying to say there. That's what we're trying to say there. Now, when the price broke, when that price broke, it literally price massively moved to the upside. Massively moved to the upside as soon as the trend line was broken. So pay attention to the trend. It looks simple, but it's powerful. Simple but powerful. Okay. So I'm coming here again. I'm giving another example. Look at this breakout and retest. Price broke out this trend line and then it came back to retest it before continuing to the side of the breaking out. Okay. Before continuing to move downwards. The price touch here, and then price touch here, and then it broke that trend line and then came back to retest it and continue in downward direction. That is trend line breakout. So we have those four variations. We have these four variations. We have this four variation of trend line breakouts, and which you must pay attention to. Hey, everybody hearing me at all? Okay, somebody is asking a question. Okay, don't worry, I'll answer the question. So these are the four variations that it must always be on your mind. Always be on your little bit, I'm going to go deeper tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's lesson. Don't miss tomorrow's class. We're going to learn a lot. Okay? So pay attention to significant trend line because market moves far and fast when signal trend line is broken. I think we have discussed this before. The significant trend line are the ones drawn from significant peaks, drawn from significant peaks and trough found on H1 upward. That means 1 hour time frame upward. The more time a trend line is obeyed, the stronger it is, and the market moves fast from it when broken. I like this. See, this last thing I'm telling you now is a multi-million-dollar statement. Multi-million-dollar statement. Don't worry, it's part of what we're going to be sharing tomorrow. The more time a trend line is obeyed, the stronger it is, and the market moves fast from it when broken. This thing alone is enough to buy you Ferrari every now and then. I'm telling you. But let's move further. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, here's another point. Gentle trend lines are more reliable than steeper trend lines. The steeper the trend line, the more unreliable it may be, because price may not be able to sustain the steepness. And I like this because this one functions very well in trend line breakouts. It functions very well in trend line breakouts. When you see the market is so steep and then you draw your trend line, you know that it will not bounce for so many times. It may not bounce more than once, but you know it will soon break. So you wait for it. There's a particular instrument like that I'm waiting for on the real synthetic indices. It's so steep. It's so steep. And I'm looking at the moment this thing breaks like this, I'm going to sell because I know price cannot be sustained on that steepness. Okay, it cannot be sustained on that steepness for a very long time. So it must break. And when it breaks, I enter trade in the opposite direction. Okay, so um, so let's now look at the market. Let's see what actually happens in the market. So let me share with you um, my chart. And let's see if we can get a couple of examples. I already give you example. I already give you example of my uh, on the slide, but let's see if we can like look at the charts together. Okay, please I have a question. Okay, somebody say he has a question. Sorry to ask that. Please ask your question on the chats. On the chats, I'm reading them now. Please, sorry to ask, sir. Please, in how many minutes or hours should the trend line be drawn? I think we already said that before. We can do it on any time frame. You can draw your trend line on any time frame, depending if you are a scalper, is on lower time frame, okay, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, okay, 15 minutes. There's no time frame on which you cannot draw a trend line, okay. But see, for personally, I draw my trend line on 4 hours and 1 hour. 4 hours and 1 hour. But if there's a news or something, I draw it on, let me say I draw it on 3 time frames: 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, depending on what I'm looking for. 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes. 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes. It depending on what time frame you want to trade. Sometimes if I draw it on 1 hour, mostly I draw it on 1 hour. But I also draw it on 4 hours. I can draw it on 15 minutes. But most of the time I draw it on 1 hour time frame. Okay. Most of the time I draw it on 1 hour time frame. Okay. I do some other things on another time frame. My trend line is mostly on 1 hour time frame. Who is asking another question? Okay. Please, how do we identify and draw the imbalances supply and demand zone in the chart? How do we identify and draw the imbalance? What do you mean by imbalance supply and demand? What do you mean by imbalance supply and demand? You must have read the book somewhere. Okay. Imbalance supply and demand. This is one of the reasons I organize this class. People have read a lot of strategies. You have read ICT, you have read IMC, you have read BMW, BMM, you have read all of them. You have read all of them. Just look at what I'm sharing with you. Okay? Look at what I'm sharing with you. When we draw, I'm not sure. I hope we're going to get there. I've not taught the other previous class too how to draw demand and supply zones. Demand and supply zone. It's one of maybe when we get there, we'll get to this your imbalance supply and demand zones when we get there. Okay, I do that on higher time frame. I don't do that. I don't draw support demand and supply zone on 1 hour. No, I don't. I don't do it on 1 hour. I don't. I do it on higher time frames, but they're more expected there. Okay, they also work well. Most of these things, there's no time frame you cannot do them. It's just that the lower the time frame, the much noise you'll be experiencing. The much noise you'll be experiencing. And the higher the time frame, the surer, the more solid, the more trustworthy, the more authentic whatever analysis you do will be, especially if you're trading currencies. The higher time frame, that's where the big money is. That's where everybody, because this and see and please, the way I'm introducing forex to you is a little bit different from what I feel you've been exposed to. I've seen people who trade and just lose money, they lose money back to back, back to back. See, the problem is not the market. The problem is sometimes the way you were introduced to the market, the way your first approach, your mindset about the market, your mindset about it. And that's the reason you see that I have been focusing on forex, teaching you forex, teaching you, the forex itself. I've not been mentioning on derived synthetic indices. It's intentional. It's intentional because if you understand what I'm sharing you now as related to forex, it will be easier for you to trade derived synthetic indices. I also need to understand that derived synthetic indices, you are trading against against algorithm, you're trading against programming, you're trading against robots. And it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, very different. Okay? When I tell you to draw a trend line, for example, if you draw a trend line from obvious peaks and trough, millions of people are looking at it from all over the world. In fact, not millions, hundreds of millions of people are looking at what you are looking at from all over the world. So it is easy for everybody to see the same thing and then everybody to do the same thing, therefore pushing the price in the same direction that you are looking at. It's so important. Okay, so somebody say after drawing the trend line, should be another confirmation before entering a market. Oh, there's a particular way. I just didn't want to rush it. There's a way I'm going to be sharing with you tomorrow how to actually enter the market, how the best way. What I've found out over the years that it will help you to avoid plenty false breakout. I'll be sharing with you tomorrow or next. How exactly, what do you do to avoid that mistake? You will love it. For example, the trade I entered today on volatility 25. Yeah, that exact strategy I used to enter volatility 25, and it works. It works many of the times or most of the time. There is no strategy that works all the time, but it works most of it. It's able to avoid false breakout. So I'm going to be sharing that with you tomorrow. For the person that asks after doing the trend line, should there be any kind of confirmation before entering the market? Okay. First of all, you use candlesticks. Then we use if candlestick is one of the things that you use. But when it breaks out, I'm going to be sharing with you how to enter the trade. But first of all, we are familiarizing ourselves with trend line breakout and how it works. Okay. Does anybody have another question? If you have another question, please write it. Let me look at it. Okay. All right. So let me share my, or if I may give you a quick response to that. Okay. The person I was asking after drawing the line, should there be another confirmation before entering the market? I don't want to just because I want to we'll do it together. Just I will show you. But then one of the things you look at is the close of the candle. The close of that candle, if it's an upward trend line, the close of the candle below the trend line. You wait till the candle closes. Whichever time frame you draw it on, you wait till that candle closes. Okay. For example, today I traded step index. Do you know that I've not traded step index? I've not traded step index. The step index I traded today, I guarantee you I've not traded that step index in the last 3 years. 3 years. I literally avoided it. But then in the last class, people were talking about step index, because I asked some of my old students who actually fall in love with step index. So just let me just look at why this my student just fell in love with step index today. Actually I trade step index 300, but I don't trade step index itself. We have step index, then we have step index 200, we have step index 300, we have step index 400. I don't trade step index itself. In step index, all these other one 200, 300, 400, they just came. We've been trading, I've been exposed to step index as far back as 2018, 2019, that derive as step index. Okay. I've been trading step index, but I just avoided it lately because I just avoided it. But then I look at the chart today. I think I was trying to create a study. I was trying to group the risk synthetic indices in different groups. Those that have there's something I was looking for. It's called clean movements. Instrument with clean movement. Do I come and teach you one of these days? See, you don't just jump on instrument to trade. Why are you trading that instrument? So I was grouping out instruments that has clean movement. So I discovered that step index has clean movement. It's one of the instruments that has cleanest movement you can think of. And so it fetched me money today. But apart from today, I have not traded step index in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, honestly speaking. Though I trade step index 300, I haven't traded step index 200, I traded step 400. But step index itself, I don't know why, I just didn't like it. But then after conducting an analysis today. I found out, this guy is nice. This guy is nice. So I traded it today. Okay, but then that was the strategy that I used to trade it. Okay, so after drawing trend line, okay, so I think I've answered your question now. You wait for that candle to close. So, but this here is the big deal. Here's another thing that helps me or that give me early entry. So if I draw a trend line on 1 hour and it's going to be a trend line breakout, I may shift to 15 minutes and watch 15-minute candle closes below it if I'm looking for a sell. If it's a buy, I watch 15-minute candle closes above the trend line. So I'll switch to a lower time frame. Okay. If I'm looking at it on 15 minutes, I won't have drawn the trend on 15. So if I draw it on 1 hour, I'll be looking for the candle to close, candle that will break the trend line to close on 15 minutes. Then I'll enter the trade. And there's something I told them in the other class, sometime last month. So from experience, so if I draw a trend line, listen to this now. I feel it to help somebody. I feel it to help somebody. This is personal after a lot of experiences. So if I draw trend line on 1 hour and I'm waiting for candle to close, there's going to be 4 15-minute candles on before 1 hour completes. So if price is breaking that trend line at the first quarter or 15 minutes and it closes, I will not enter that trade. Second one is better. But I always like it at the third quarter. That means the 45th minute. That's the first 15 minutes, second 15 minutes, the third 15 minutes. Especially when if it's breaking it on the third 15 minutes or 1 hour, I like it. I like it more than when it breaks the first 15. You see, this is actually personal. Sometimes it helps you to avoid forced breakout because sometimes the thing can now if it's on the bullish trend line, the thing can form you a pin bar and eventually close within the trend line and goes in the direction of the previous trend. I'm telling you. And so I like it when the 15-minute candle is on the last quarter or the third quarter of 1 hour. So if it's a 1 hour candle, I can open it on the 54th or 45th minute or maybe be 30 minutes to 45th minute. I won't take it the first 15 minutes, even the second 15 minutes, the third 15 minutes. Already that is telling me it's close to closing on 1 hour candlesticks. I want to believe I've answered your question. So you wait for the close of candle. The other one strategy I want to show you, I will show it to you tomorrow. And I don't understand how they switch time frame to use it for confirmation, maybe to know if it's trending up or down. Don't worry, we'll do all of that. We will have another class for that. Today's class will familiarize you with trend line breakout and how powerful it can be. So let me share with you the chart. Beautiful. Yeah, I like all the questions you're asking. I will not leave any stone unturned. Don't worry. I'll not leave any stone unturned. I will explain everything to you. Okay. So all right, you see trend line like this. Okay. One of the things I love to do is to see if I can start from maybe at a particular time of the year. Okay. I remember trading this side, GBUSD. Okay. So let me see if I can look at something from January 2025. See how we can roll it. January 2025, or let's say March 2025. I don't like trading in January. Especially from January 1 to 15. I don't like to trade currency pairs at all. So people are still on holiday. They have not resumed. The banks have not resumed. They're still on holiday. I mean, in foreign countries, and people are on vacation. People are enjoying. That's when this is. So let's say I'm here now. This is February. Then I see two obvious peaks. Then I draw my trend line. You can see that this trend line breaks, okay, and this is one of those times when it's not so much in your favor. Okay, this trend line broke here, and then it came back. Okay, if you have put your stop loss below here now, it will have hit you out, and this is most likely news that caused it. But then, if I see a pullback like this, a pullback, and then price go up and come and close above my trend line around here, personally, this might not be what I'm teaching tonight. If price break this and this candle close, I will buy. Is one of my strategies. I'll place a buy here and allow it to run. I'll place a buy there and allow it to run big time. So let's see how we get trend lines. Okay. So I'm having this is one of those times I like to enter trend line, and I'll give you example. Wow. This is one of the things I'll be teaching you maybe tomorrow or next, when we have 3 touches. We have first touch, second touch, third touch, and trend line now breaks. Aya. What I'm showing you here has made me a lot of money. I have the touch. When you see, okay, let me see. If you check my slide, let me see where I put it to come and teach you in the future. There's somewhere on my slide that I plan to teach you something like that in the future. I have a strategy like that. That strategy makes me money like is here. Is here. Let me quickly share with you something on my slide. When I'm going to be sharing something like that with you in the future, when we share something with you like that, you will see. Let me show you my slide. It will amaze you. Can you see something like this on my screen? Can you see something like this on my screen? If favorite strategy, 3TP, 1 week, 1 WKD, you will like it. You will like the strategy the day I'm going to this thing can make you a multi-millionaire. I'm telling you. It's 3 touch points, 1 week D. Don't worry, I'll come and share one of these days. Okay, it's on my slide 102. Slide 102. But let's get back to the chart. You will like it. But this is part of what this is part of what he's talking about. So let's the chart and let me show you what I'm trying to do here. When you see something like this, okay, some question, let me see. After drawing, I don't understand. Okay, and I don't understand how they switched. Okay, I think okay. So you see this 3 touch point. When you see 3 touch points, my goodness. When you see 3 touch points, oh boy, this is one of the secrets that can fetch you crazy money in the market. You see the 3 touch points, and then the third one, the fourth one now breaks. Just know that price will move very far. I'm telling you. Just know that price will move. In most cases, price will move very far. I'm giving you secret now. Don't say I did not tell you. Don't say, see, okay. It was in this class that we had agreement that in the next 2 years, if you have not had car before, you must buy car in the next 2 years and show me and snap the picture when you buy it and send it to us, whether on our social media or on DM on WhatsApp. Now, this is part of the thing that will give you a cow. This is the thing that will buy you a cow, 3 touch points, and then the fourth one breaks. Every time you see something like that, in most cases, price moves very far. So this one has touched point 1, point 2, point 3, like that. I'm telling you. And so if you take it back, you see point 1, point 2, then price broke to this side, and then we have so many pips. You have so many pips. Price broke here, Normally, when it break here, this is how to trade it now. You wait for the candle to close. Now, this candle, this first bigger one, if you are looking at this one, there are two trend lines here. This one break, you must have entered here. You must have entered here. And when you enter here like this, I will wait for it to close lower than this last support in case you want to form double bottom. I'll wait for it to close lower than this last bottom. From here now, I'm going to be entering a sell, massive sell. I'm going to enter a sell here and put my stop loss the last swing and allow it to flow. And then by that, how many pips is that? You know, like here now, okay, like here now, look at what is happening here. I'm waiting for this thing to close. I'm waiting for this candle to close here. And I want it to close, lower than this support. I want a candle that will break this trend line, but yet close lower than this support. This is where I now switch to lower time frame. This is 1 hour, and I switch to 15 minutes. So I switch to 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, that has gone far. Okay, so I switch to 15 minutes. Here now, I now switch to 15 minutes. See what 15 minutes is telling me. See what 15 minutes is telling me that in this case, a little bit the same as 1 hour, but sometimes it's not the same like that. It's not the same. Entering a sell here. I'll be entering a sell at the close of this 15-minute candle. At the close of this 15-minute candle, at the close of it, I'll be entering a sell. Or another thing I do is this. I just put a pending order. I'll be teaching you how to use pending order. I put a pending set stop. I put a set stop on the price there. If this candle closes, if this candle breaks this trend line below here now, I put a sell stop. I did set stop today on step index 25. Sell stop. By how many pips did the price roll? Price roll for 72 pips. 72 pips. Price came down by 72 pips. You know, yeah, 74 pips. And then that goes like that. And then we'll come again. We see another trend line. Did you see another trend line? Another trend line breakout is breaking out here again. Price is breaking out here again. Then it moves to the upside. Did you see? As soon as that trend line breaks, see how far price is going. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. I'm telling you, this is 312 pips. It is crazy, bro. It is crazy. As in crazily crazy. My goodness. And then it went as far as 312 pips. Came to this side. And then you are seeing it again. You are seeing trend line. You're seeing trend line again. You're seeing trend line breaking out again. It broke to this side. You place your penny on that buy stop here, and it goes up again. It goes up again. It goes up again. Did you see? Did you see? I'm just familiarizing you with trend line breakout. The 3 touch point, trend line breakout. 1, 2, 3. It broke out to the upside. One of those times you go to look for this candle closing on 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. So if you enter a 15-minute time frame, see, if you enter a 15-minute time frame now, 15-minute time frame, that means you'll be entering here. You'll be entering at the close of this candle. You'll be entering here. But if you enter on 1 hour, see, you'll be entering. This is where you'll be entering. I believe I've answered the question of that person now. If I wait for 1 hour candle to close, this will be my entry. If I wait for 15-minute candle to close, this will be my entry. And see the difference in pips. The difference in pips. 14 pips. Imagine 14 pips. 14 pips. And another thing is that sometimes it can work for you, sometimes it can work against you, because sometimes you might discover that you have entered the game and the candle now comes back inside and close downwards and close and the market now sells. You just discover that okay, I lost it because, and then you wait for another opportunity another time. So it's in both ways. It gives you early entry, and sometimes it can be a fake breakout. It works in both ways. And so that is that about trend line breakout. And I believe that You have learned something about trend line breakout. Did you see? Did you see something here? Did you see money here now? Market goes to the upside. Market goes to the upside. Market goes. This is the time when I said when the market is steep, when the trend line is steep, then when trend line is steep, market will move far and fast. Move far and fast. Can you imagine this trend line broke like this? The trend line broke like this, and then it's break like this. See. Did you see? Did you see? Market move a great deal, the direction of the breakouts. Did you see? Let's see how many pips that is. How many pip that is? That is 604 pips. 604 pips. 604 pips. All right, so that is that about trend line breakout on both ways. So we have 4 variations. So the assignment they're going to do for me now, is you have 6 assignments, or let me say 2 assignments. One on trend line bounce, the other one on trend line breakout. The assignment is this: listen and listen hard. Listen and listen carefully. You must do my assignment. If you don't do my assignment, it will discourage me from continuing with this class. I have that attitude. If I discover that people are not responding, I feel like maybe they are busy doing some other thing. Don't let me waste my time. Let me face my, because my time is always very important to me. My time, I don't joke with my time. I don't joke with my time. I work several hours every day. I don't joke with my time. So assignment number 1, you give me 10 examples. 10 examples of upward trend line bounce. Trend line bounce. It goes up, and then the market will base in the the bullish direction, just like this, like this. The third bounce now, I'm seeing a doji here, and the price moves up, upward bounce, bullish bounce. Then you give me the example of the bearish bound, bearish bound, bearish, like this one now, like this one. I have 1, 2, the third time, price bounce to the downside, price bounce to the downside. You give me 10 example of the bullish, 10 example of the bearish. That's 1. Number 2, all the 4 variations of trend line breakouts. You give me 4 examples each. Number 1, immediate breakout to the sell side, then breakout and retest to the sell side. Then we have immediate breakout to the upside, that bullish, then breakout and retest to the upside, making like 60 screenshots to be sent to my DM. You can send it to the group who will mark it. That's how we used to do in other groups. You send it to the group, generally let everybody see. Just name it. You label it. This is trend line bounce, bullish trend line bounce. You show me your entry, where you will enter, where you put your stop loss, and where you be your take profit. Your take profit is usually the previous swing. For example, if you enter here, you enter here now at this sell now. So on this particular trade now, and this is what I'm expecting you to do. You put a different line color. If you're using your phone, you put a different line color. Like, okay, let's do it this way. You put a line like this. You show me that this is your entry. Maybe your entry may be green color. Okay, property. Okay, let's say your entry is red. Then you put your stop loss. Your stop loss will be the last swing. Your entry is here. Your stop loss is here. Let's say your stop loss is blue color. Let's say your stop loss is blue. That's how they do it in other groups, blue color. Then your take profit will be your last swing. This is your previous swing. This is the previous swing here. The previous swing is here. And then maybe that will be green. Let's make your take profit green color. Then you let us know whatever color you use. You let us know. Okay, my red color, my red line is for my entry. My blue line is for my stop loss. My green line is my take profit. So you do all of that, and I want you to submit to 10 for bullish trend line, that is for bounce. 10 for bearish trend line, that is for the sell. And then we have the 4 variations of trend line, breakouts. You give me 10 examples each of each of the variations. And you must submit it before the class tomorrow, before 8 p.m. tomorrow. The class will come up again tomorrow by 9 p.m. Okay, so does anybody have questions? If you understand what we are sharing tonight, please type 4 in the comment section. If you learn something and if you understand what we're talking about, please type 4 in the comment section. Type 4 in the comment section. 4. If you understood what we shared tonight, type 4 in the comment section. And if you have questions, please quickly ask the question now and then quickly answer it before we end the class. Hurry up, I'm waiting. This video is already long. I'm waiting. Okay, all right. You understood what we're sharing in class. That's good. Kenneth Ezekiel, that's good. All right, somebody understood, that's good. Amon Pluton, yeah, that's good. And does anybody have question? If you have question, please type in the comment section and then we'll continue. And then we see if we can answer it now or if it's part of what we are answering in the next class. All right. Yeah, Mohammed Jali, that's beautiful. I like when you understood what we're sharing. That's beautiful. So in the absence of any question, we'll continue the class tomorrow. And I want to say bye-bye and God bless you. Bye-bye.